Shalom Yisrael. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honor to the elders and to the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all your hopeful elect Akim that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Mar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. I wanted to make this lesson about a movie called How It Ends. And this is another apocalyptic movie. It talks about the blackouts, power outages, earthquakes. So I just want to let you know I do not own the rights to this movie. This is just for educational purposes only. And I'm going to play the clip, get into some scriptures, because this is the time that we're living in.
What time is it?
6 a.m. in Seattle. My mother just called.
What happened last night?
I'm sorry. He was into me from the second I got in.
Why did you move my daughter away from me?
Moving was Sam's idea.
If I'd asked for his blessing last night, he would have said no, so I didn't. I'm really late. Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, call me when you get to the airport.
What was that?
Will, something's wrong.
Sam.
We have unconfirmed reports of a large seismic event off the California coast, with reports of power outages across the United States.
Why didn't you come back?
I didn't know where else to go.
Have you talked to Sam?
We got disconnected.
What's the last thing she said?
She sounded scared.
Let's look at what we know, Will. We have no idea what's happening. Yet we got F-22s doing flybys. My only daughter, she's alone, 2,000 miles away. So I only have one question for you. Are you coming with me?
All communications are down. The government is silent. We don't know who or what is causing this.
There's a lot to be afraid of out there. There's a lot of real danger.
Should have told me that you had a gun.
I'm assuming that you've never fired a firearm.
I've seen war game simulations. Events just like this. They're designed to erase rational behavior with what appears to be
All right, as you can see, there was a military blocking the roads. There were people going crazy in the cities. Resources were being fought over. Towns and cities were being burned. Men were fighting amongst each other. People look at this as an entertainment. Something that they don't think can happen to them just because they live in the great US of A. But these people are really in for a rude awakening, because power outages, a reset of a system has to come. Because just like if you got a virus in your computer, or you needed to do a restart on the whole computer for new software, you have to completely shut the whole system down and then restart it. Whenever you update your phone to bring the new update in, it completely shuts down, and then it brings in the new update. And the new update in this scenario that Esau Edom wants to bring, according to Revelations 13 and 16, is a charagma. And this is going to be one of those events that the charagma has to come before World War III. So this is something that can happen in the very, very near future, and will happen. They are setting up these signs with the solars, the magnetic fields changing, the threats of cyber attacks from Russia, China, Iran, etc. Different of their members of their proxy groups, which are just members that are funded by those main countries. So a lot is going on. And as you can see, families were separated. Doesn't matter how much money they had. They couldn't just get on a plane and go to where they wanted to go, So the scriptures that I wanted to get into, I wanted to read. First, I wanted to get Zephaniah 1 and 14. This is the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. And that mighty man in this case was the so-called Judite, the so-called black man that was a military veteran. He was a mighty man. He was ready to go, but even he was distressed in that day. Verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And when there's no street lights, when there's no lights in your house, these people ain't ready to go back to the dark ages where they gotta keep themselves warm. Most houses nowadays don't even have fireplaces in them. It's completely dependent on the system that Esau has made to be connected to their gas, their electricity. And when the grid goes down, they understand fully that you're at mercy to them because they have supplied you with everything. You have depended on them instead of becoming self-sufficient, which it's all by design, obviously, because this place is made to be a luxurious, lavish lifestyle, a little bit careless. But you look at these third world countries, and if the grid went down, they cook with wood stoves still. In Mexico, majority people still cook with wood stoves. It's rare if you can get gas or electricity, just because it's too expensive, man. So the majority of people will be all right, but Babylon the Great, that golden cup that lived deliciously, these people aren't going to be able to understand or know how to survive in these days, especially when there's dark and gloominess and wasteness, distress. They're not used to that type of lifestyle. This is verse 16. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, like those tornado sirens that you hear in that long, drawn-out, eerie horn that's saying tsunami's coming, earthquake's going to happen, shelter in place, don't go outside. There's going to be all types of disasters all over the place. It's not just going to be one thing. It's not just going to be a power outage. It's going to be looters. It's going to be a disease. It's going to be demons. It's going to be a snowstorm coming through, an extreme drop at the night temperatures of unnaturally where it just freezes everything. Who knows? Lord's going to bring all types of calamities upon this place. Just like in Egypt in the ancient days, we didn't just walk out of there. This place was tormented before we walked out. Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men, not knowing where to go, what to do, who to call, go up, go down, go left, go right. These people are going to be like zombies, just hopeless. But that's why and how important the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai and understanding this truth and being in order under the men that he has set up is. Because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung, because they're going to have to pay for their own sins because they didn't repent and accept Yahweh Shai to cover. But ultimately, there's no such thing as free will. So at the end of the day, the Lord didn't choose them, and we're just Lord willing that I make it, that the brothers I camp with make it, that the loved ones make it, the help of the prophets make it, all those people that, I hope to see on those chariots. That's what it's about. Verse 18, and all the brothers throughout all the cities and camps throughout the world and Babylon the Great, they're all thinking the exact same thing. They just want to see their brothers on the chariot, and they want to make it on the chariot. They want to see their wives, their loved ones on the chariot. And because we understand that not all of our family is going to make it, some of our family members are going to die. But at this point, it's the best thing for them, because they're not going to be able to handle with what's coming through in Jacob's trouble. Really? And the Lord didn't choose them to give mercy to get beamed up on the first go-round if they do die. But even if they do die, and the Lord can still choose them after. Because the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. So you have to understand that everything, is according to Yahweh Shai's will, and there's nothing that we can do to stop it. And this is why Christians get bugged out saying, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, it's the Lord's will. So that's why we're going to have the light, Yahweh Ratazah. Like I said, the Israelites had light in their dwellings. We just pray that your family's protected, my family's protected. I say these things for myself first and foremost, because you're going to have to do things. You're going to have to do things just like those men had to go out and find his daughter. You're going to have to find water. You're going to have to find a place to heat. You're going to have to find a dry shelter. You can't go 3 days without water. Obviously through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, anything is possible, but, talking for the average Jake out there, man. You need things to survive. Continuing Zephaniah 1:18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. That's ultimately talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles making this place uninhabitable, laying those mountains flat, turning this place into a swamp wasteland. And I had these scriptures because I know that those men in the movie, which is How It Ends, in 2018 it came out. It's on Netflix, I believe, still, but don't quote me on it. I haven't checked yet. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. I'm going to get right to the point. I'll start at 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And I know we've been bringing out these scriptures, but we have to put this on repeat because, again, these are the times that we are living in. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So we're talking about sedition, the military having to take quarantine zones, shutting off whole cities because there's a rebellion group in there. There's a bunch of Edomites. Let's say there's 100 Edomites in the Boise that are just held up in the building. And they're really good tactical position. They're clapping and shooting back with Esau's military, and they just shut the whole shit down. Bomb it, man. Don't let anybody in or out. You know, that's what's going to happen. And that's how they're going to get roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. They're not going to allow you to travel freely. Not to mention there was, like on the movie Leave the World Behind, there's been a leak saying that they're going to use those Teslas to go jam up the major roadways so that nobody can leave the cities and they can keep them in control better, because they know that people have a better chance outside the cities than they would if they got trapped in, because there's going to be a fight for resources here. As soon as the cities go under and go dark, go black, EMP comes, martial law. It's every man for himself, man. This is verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Self-explanatory. If the men shall be afraid, how much more so the women and children? You know, and if that man hasn't built himself up and built his house on sand, hey, guess what? As soon as that storm comes, Jacob's trouble, his whole shit's fucking gone, man. Family, everything's worked for, gone. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because when somebody gets hungry, you got a kid saying, "Daddy, feed me," and you seeing their ribs touching their back, their little skeleton face, like the Auschwitz camps in Germany, you know, the so-called Holocaust. You know, they had their bones, they look like walking skeletons, man. You're going to do anything to go try to fight your neighbor or a damn tiger to try to get your family something to eat so you don't have to see them pass away like that, man. And who knows, people are going to resort to cannibalism, eating their family dog, eating their cats, eating rats, eating pieces of leather. Who knows, man? It's gonna get desperate out here, and that's why these people are gonna be so willing to accept the charagma, because anything to bring back the sense of what they call and what they think is normal, they're gonna accept it. And that's why Yahweh Ratazah would be the ultimate test, man. Because you can repent from sins, but you can't repent from taking the charagma. And that is the time that we're living in right now, which has to be made. So it's going to be that RFID chip that's going to be implanted underneath your skin. It's a physical thing, not a spiritual mark. You know, do not take it. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Shalom.